So you should be grateful to God for that. But the space within is infinite, Swami said. Your house might be a very limited place, a very limited space, provide a limited space for a few guests. But in your spiritual heart, you can accommodate the whole universe, so that is your space. So the Swami said, that is the personality analysis of the universal person, of a universal being. That is the leader, Swami said. Now, of course, this is a very, when you talk about these things, people would like to say that, oh, I would love to hear about Swami's miracles more. But then, don't you feel that this is a bigger miracle? Swami telling us about so many beautiful things which are enunciated in the scriptures in the most confounded manner. And here is Bhagavan telling us, making it so simplified and telling us, and so sugar-coated, and telling us only this much. The way he would just drop anything around him was a very good teaching aid, including the tumbler. How many times you would have seen Swami would show the tumbler and then, make that a wonderful teaching aid. But that handkerchief, I'll never forget, when he just dropped the handkerchief. After having given us a beautiful Chinna Udharanu, Chinna Katha, he told us a Chinna Katha and dropped the handkerchief and said, it's so easy to drop it. Renunciation is so simple. Now if I have to pick it up, I have to bend down. Then I have to pick up the handkerchief and keep holding. If I doze off, if I sleep, I might just lose the handkerchief. So Swami said, holding on to something is so difficult, leaving it is so easy. So renunciation is not difficult. Sannyas is very easy, Swami would say. How simple he makes the most profound, he makes, turns the confounded thing into the most profound thing. And this is how I have seen the larger miracle, apart from the materializations, apart from the miracles that we think of. I think this is one of the most beautiful miracles that we can think about. And the primary school teaches them. It's a fantastic mass transformation miracle. These 900 teachers who were so unruly in the beginning, on the around 6th or 7th day, they all became so quiet. And in the morning we were looking for that noise, it was nowhere to be seen. And when we went down to the bhajan hall, dining room, they were all seated, nobody had told them anything. They were seated in rows, quietly waiting for the Omkar Suprabhatam. On the 9th day, the valedictory function was held. On the 10th day, 9th day was the valedictory function. On the 10th day, in the morning, they were to the Visarjan. Swami would just tell them to go home and give his final discourse.
10 minutes. Say 10 minutes.
Close it.
Okay, so he was given, these people, they went there and they just get crashed. Like no one could stop them from singing bhajans. Those 9 or 8 bhajans that they had learned, they kept singing on and on and on. And then till Swami appeared on the balcony, they went and gate crashed, all of them in tears, all of them completely running berserk, crying and saying that why can't we go inside? He said, no, you are not allowed to go there because today is not the Nagar Sankirtan. It was a Saturday. And on a Saturday, Swami appeared on the balcony and blessed them, and Swami said, what do you want? They said, Swami, we want to come with you. Swami said, you can't come with me, just like that you are telling. Where would you like to go? Mysore sightseeing? They said, no, Swami, we want to come with you. Then Swami said, okay, those who want to come with me, come to Prashanti Nilayam. Those who would like to go to Mysore, go to Mysore. For sightseeing, I'll provide everything. And nobody went to Mysore. They all came to Prashanti Nilayam for another 2 or 3 days stay in Prashanti Nilayam. And that is one of the most beautiful mass transformations I saw in my life. I have another 10 minutes, 8 minutes now. I'll just sing some bhajans with you. Is there any bhajan in particular?
Sir, so could you say one incident about
10 minutes, I have 8 minutes now. I have bhajan
I'll
here.
give you 2 more minutes. So one incident of Mr. Raja Reddy as well. Not lot of us are not or some bhajan which are older.
But then if I talk about, Mr. Raja Reddy, he was the only privileged person. He had been singing bhajans throughout in Puttaparthi, and he was the only one privileged to go right up to Swami's bedroom. up to Swami's room, personal room, anytime. And what is important about Raja Reddy is that last time I saw him, he would come, whenever he would come to Prashant time, he would come and sit with us, and then he would tell me, I'm going to sing the first bhajan, tell me the scale, and then if I would be playing the harmonium, or whoever would play the harmonium, and then he would quietly sit in meditation and sing the first bhajan. That particular day, Swami sang word that Raja Reddy is not going to sing bhajan. Imagine it can come to anyone. So, I was in a fix how to tell Mr. Raja Reddy of all the persons that he is not going to sing bhajan. But he was deep into meditation. There was no way I could tell this to him. And then Swami came and sat on the throne, and we started the bhajan without Mr. Raja Reddy singing the first song. It was at the time customary for him to sing the first bhajan. And the bhajan started. And then I looked at Raja Reddy Garu. Here he was with his closed eyes, he was in deep meditation. And then the bhajan completed, after the bhajan arati, and then Raja Reddy he pressed my hand little bit, and with a beautiful smile he left the place. I have shared this with others. So that is Asthita Pratyata. After that he went straight to Swami's room. There's another thing. But the fact remains that even in his meditation, deep in his meditation, he knew everything. He was one with Bhagavan. And at a later stage, when I went to Mumbai for recording bhajans, I went to his house. And Bhabiji, his wife, told me, you wait here, he will come and see you. I waited for almost 2 hours, and he would come out from that place. And she had shown me just around the room, the other side of the room. So I thought, and out of my respect for him, I didn't go to disturb him yet. After 2 hours, I thought I should go and see him. So I just went there. And his house was on the 13th floor, overlooking the sea. And it was evening sunset. The light was falling directly on his face. He was in deep trance, seated on a deer skin on the other side. And he was in samadhi. And the light on his face, and I think it was the light that he was exuding, was so brilliant that he was in that state. I just left him like that and came out. And that was the last time I saw Raja Reddy Garu. And I think what a wonderful way to live life. Total fulfillment. Pranam